What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, coming back to Sleep Token. Yes, indeed, Sleep Token fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bobbidi-bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Charles B, and this is actually one of Charles B's 3 prioritized requests for the month of July for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Charles. Hope you enjoy the show, man. Charles wanted to see me react to this. It is Sleep Token with a tune called Vore. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. As always, Charles has provided me an intro to read to all of you, so here we go. About a month after releasing Aqua Regia, the 4th single and track from Take Me Back to Eden, Sleep Token unveiled the 5th single and 5th track of the album, Vore, on February 15th, 2023, roughly 3 months before the full album dropped. Following Aqua Regia with Vore, the band shifts back into progressive metal territory by tapping into a metal subgenre I've mentioned that you would hear from them eventually in my intros for Alkaline and for Chokehold. I won't mention it again here, though, so as not to give away what you will be listening to, but I will explain the song's title. Vore comes from the Latin suffix meaning to eat, and also references vorophilia, a fantasy centered on the desire to consume or to be consumed. Here, it serves as a metaphor for a love so intense it verges on longing, pain, and even consumption of the spiritual and or physical kind. This context should set the mood and tone of what you are about to hear. It's also worth noting that Vessel here continues to showcase a bold range of vocal experimentation. One last thing, this track might even vaguely remind you of an earlier one from Sleep Token that you reacted to, except that unlike that one, they've actually been playing this one live at their concerts. I think I know the song. Because Charles made sure to mention that as much as I loved the song, they never play it live. Ooh, we might be in for a treat here. Okay, let's calm down. We're not there yet. Let's see. This was posted by Sleep Token. No surprise there. And the video has 6.9 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Sleep Token, Vore. There you go. Short, sweet, and to the point. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
couple of things really kind of standing out to me. Number one, the drumming. He's doing his transitional fill. Whenever you're going to switch from phrase to phrase, he's doing a transitional fill. And he's starting it each and every time. He's starting on the E of 3. So if you're thinking about a 16th note pattern, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. He's starting. He'll do a full measure of his pattern. So he'll go 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E. On that E of 3 of the second measure is where he starts his transitional fill each and every time. But it's not the same fill each and every time. But it always starts on the E of 3 of the second measure. That's really cool. I like that. It shows consistency. So it shows the structure. But at the same time, each fill's different. So it also, while having that structure, shows variety. So I'm really digging that. The other thing I'm really digging on is the vocal layering that Vessel's coming up with. Kind of reminiscent of a band that I wasn't a member of the band, but it was a band that the band I was in at the time, we played with them a lot. Like we would, it wasn't even intentional. We would get a gig, we would find ourselves at the gig, and oh, look who the headliner is. It's ASL. You know, wow, okay. The band was called Alternate Sound of Life, and they had a number of songs. Pretty much all of their songs had a lot of vocal layering. It was all done by one guy. He would bring on stage this like wall of processors. That's the only way I could really describe it. He had these racks just stacked. You know, he had like 3 cabinets, and they were about 5 feet high, and they were just packed with all these different vocal processors and effects and everything. And he would control it from the stage, and he would do, you know, looping and splitting and all this other stuff, and he had all set up. So he would do all the vocal work. And at times he would have like 5 or 6 vocal lines going, all created by him. It was really cool. It was really cool to see and watch him do it live. Because, you know, hearing it on a studio recording, you're like, oh, that's, you know, that's studio work. But he would do it live as well. So it was really fun to see him do it live. But they were really kind of known for their vocal stacking work. And I'm really hearing that in this too. Really digging what I'm hearing when it comes to that. It sounds good. It sounds full. It's pleasing to the ear. Every harmony that's created, or every triad that's created, is very pleasing to the ear. So I got no issue with it whatsoever. I'm digging this. I'm enjoying this. Absolutely. Is it my new favorite? I wouldn't go that far. At least not yet. We still got 2.5 minutes. You know, anything could happen. As it stands right now, though, it's not my new favorite, but it's up there for sure. Back up. See, there's an octave split right there. It's not my new favorite, but it's up there. It's definitely up there. I would have no problem putting this top 5. I feel confident with that. Yeah, I don't know if I would go top 3, but top 5, yes. Yes, absolutely. When I mean top 5, I mean top 5 Sleep Token songs. Not top 5 songs of all time. No. But top 5 Sleep Token songs of all time. Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely put it in there. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Sleep Token with Vore. This was a request from Charles B. And this was actually one of Charles B's 3 prioritized requests for the month of July for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, Charles. Hope you enjoyed the show. At the end of the song, I made the statement that I would feel comfortable putting this into my top favorite, my top 5 favorite songs from Sleep Token. And I still feel confident with that assessment, just to let y'all know. So, when I give the score, it shouldn't be too much of a shock. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.6. Yep, 8.6. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.6. What does that mean? Well, an 8.6 will translate to a great scale rating because overall, I think this was a great song. It would also get 4 out of 5 stars and an A letter grade. Yes, an A. So there you go, an 8.6, great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Okay, look. It's hitting on all cylinders. When I think about songs that I think are just really well structured, really well put together, they're interesting to listen to, they're fun to listen to, they're engaging, they keep you guessing to some extent, but at the same time, not so much that you get distracted by the guessing. It's well structured, it's well organized, it's well broken up into each individual phrase, and they make each phrase very obvious as to where each phrase starts, where each phrase ends, and where the next phrase picks up, and how it picks up. Now, that's primarily due to the drumming, if I'm being honest here. 2 really did a nice job of setting up each phrase. I love the transitional work. And I already talked about this at length during the reaction, but in case you missed it, how he's doing it with showing not just consistency and structure, but also with creativity and versatility. So he's starting each fill on the E. If you're talking about that 16th note, I already talked about this at length. I'm not going to talk about it at length again. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the reaction again. But utilizing that 16th note count on the E of 3, starting that transitional fill each and every time on the second measure. So on the second measure, the E of 3, start the transitional fill. There's the structure. But at the same time, each time he would start the fill itself would be different. Showing some variety, showing some creativity, showing some versatility, and really doing a nice job of it. So you get the balance, you get the structure, and you get the creativity at the same time. Basically, you're getting your cake and eating it too. I mean, look, what more do you want? I mean, that's pretty awesome in my book. On top of that, throughout the rest of the song, every place else, he's got a really nice pattern that fits each and every section. If we bring it down, he brings it down. Not just volume, but what's being played, the number of notes being played, the speed that he's playing with. It all adjusts accordingly. Very, very tasteful playing on his part. Vessel's vocals on this. I love the vocal stacking when he was doing his clean vocals. His clean vocal sections were, without question, my favorite part of the song. His grit and growl vocals, if I'm being honest, I'm not a fan. Okay, now listen, he's doing nothing wrong. Okay, he's doing everything right. It sounds like he's using proper technique. I feel like it goes a little over the top. Okay, if I'm being 100% honest, it's hard to understand him. It really is when he's singing with that grit and growl vocal. It's hard to make out what he's saying, the words that he's saying. I had a very hard time with it. Now, in all fairness, I have a really hard time with vocals in general. So, take that for what it's worth. But like when he was singing cleanly, I could understand the words that he was saying. Like I could understand what was being, like the words that he was utilizing for the vocals. When he was doing the grit and growl vocals, I couldn't understand a word he was saying. So, I mean, now that partly also could be done due to the severely overdriven instrumentation. Now, I'm not mad at the instrumentation. They were going for a certain effect and they got it for the purpose of song development and for development within the chord progression. I get that. I absolutely get that. But it was very overdriven, mixed in with the heavy grit and growl. I wouldn't even say grit and growl. That sounded downright screamo to me. It was very, I can't even say it was very hard to understand what he was saying. I couldn't understand what he was saying at all. So I wasn't the biggest fan of his grit and growl vocals, but having said that, he didn't do anything wrong. He was using proper technique. It sounded like he was supporting. He was using all the right muscle groups to get the effect he was going for. So kudos to him. The biggest thing for me though on this song was the play with feel, yes, but more than the play with feel, the play with dynamics. Having that build, and then when we drop, and then we build up again, and then we shoot up. No gradualness to it. We build, and then from here we shoot straight up again, and then we're hanging out there for a while, and then we drop down again. And I was really entertained by that. That really kept me vested. It kept me interested. So really nice work on that, getting everything that they wanted to get out of it. The groove was nice. The energy was nice. The drive was nice. The intensity of the song. When it came up, boy, it came up. And when it came down, even when it came down, the intensity was still there, just simmering and waiting to explode again. But it didn't completely disappear. So, now look, it's a great song. It absolutely is. I'm gonna go on a limb. I made a prediction when Charles said this track might even vaguely remind you of an earlier one from Sleep Token that I reacted to. I think the song he's referring to is Gods. And that is, I believe that is my favorite song from Sleep Token to this day. I see the parallels. I do see the parallels to Gods. So I think that's the song he's referring to. And like I said, in closing, not my favorite, but it's top 5, without question. So yeah, 8.6. I feel good with that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.6, which is a great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.